Hello, sports fans. Welcome to Super Sports Central. Today, we have my Week 16 NFL predictions. So last week, I had a record of 12-4, which brings my overall record on the season to 128-80. Starting off this week on Thursday Night Football, we have the Jaguars visiting the Jets. So the Jaguars are coming off an overtime win, a comeback win over the Cowboys, and the Jets lost to the Lions. For the Jets and their quarterback situation, they're going to be starting Zach Wilson on a short week, as Mike White has still not been cleared for contact, so it will be Zach Wilson for the Jets at quarterback. Now, Wilson wasn't that bad last week in the loss to the Lions, but Trevor Lawrence has been really good lately. And now he faces a great Jets defense, so it's going to be tough for Trevor Lawrence, but I do think he's going to do enough to lead the Jaguars to victories. The Jaguars continue their late season playoff push, defeating the Jets by a score of 24-21. Moving on to the games on Christmas Eve or Saturday, we have the Bears hosting the Bills. So the Bills will clinch the AFC East this week with a win or tie against the Bears, or a Dolphins loss or tie against the Packers. Now the Bills, they play the Bears, a team that's really not that good outside of quarterback Justin Fields. This could be a trap game for the Bills, with the Bengals up next on the schedule, but I think the Bills should be able to take care of business and clinch the AFC East crown, defeating the Bears by a score of 31-17. Moving on, we have the Browns hosting the Saints. So this is a must-win game for both teams. Both teams are still barely alive in the playoff race, but can't afford to drop another game. The Browns haven't been great offensively since Deshaun Watson returned, but they're still able to run the ball effectively with Nick Chubb. And Saints haven't been great against stopping the run this season, so I could definitely see the Browns with the win. The Saints also haven't been great against AFC North opponents, so I'll take the Browns winning this game by a score of 21-18. Up next, we have the Titans hosting the Texans. So the Titans have a lot of injuries this week, including quarterback Ryan Tannehill. So Malik Willis will be starting for the Titans, as he also started the other game they played against the Texans, but they only threw the ball 10 times, but Derrick Henry had a monster game running for over 200 yards. Now, I'm not saying Derrick Henry's going to run for another 200-plus yards, but I think Derrick Henry will have another fantastic game leading the Titans to the win, winning this game by a score of 20-10. Up next, we have the Chiefs hosting the Seahawks. So the Chiefs, they haven't been great lately, and the Seahawks also haven't been great lately. This is a must-win game for the Seahawks, because they're currently 7-7 and not even sitting in a playoff spot. And the Seahawks, they also haven't been great defensively lately, and that is not a recipe for success against a great Chiefs offense. So I'll take the Chiefs taking the win here, getting the win by a score of 34-24. Moving on, we have the Vikings hosting the Giants. The Giants are coming off a huge win over the Commanders, and could actually clinch a playoff spot this week with a win and losses by two of these three teams. Those three teams are the Commanders, Lions, and Seahawks. Now, the Vikings, they're coming off a massive 33-point comeback win over the Colts, but their defense has still been very concerning. So, I could see the Giants putting up points and making this a very close game, but in the end, the Giants have nobody to cover Justin Jefferson, which will lead to the Vikings offense having success, and the Giants will be unable to stop the Vikings offense. The Vikings get the win here 28-22. Moving on, we have the Bengals visiting the Patriots. So the Bengals are coming off a comeback win over the Buccaneers and looking to secure a playoff spot this week. They could clinch a playoff spot with a win or tie, or a Jets loss or tie. Now the Patriots, they're coming off a really bad loss against the Raiders, where they threw a lateral and it got intercepted and ran back for the game-winning touchdown. The Bengals are on a 6-game winning streak, and they've been great defensively on that stretch, especially stopping the run. That's going to put a lot of pressure on Mac Jones to win this game for the Patriots, and I don't think he's going to do it. I think the Bengals are just too good of a team, and the Bengals will extend their winning streak to 7 games, defeating the Patriots by a score of 27-10. Up next, we have the Panthers hosting the Lions. This is a big game for both teams. Both teams are shockingly still in the playoff race, but it's a must-win game for both teams. The Lions are coming in hot, winning 6 of their last 7 games in 3 straight. The Panthers aren't great offensively, and while they do have a solid defense, they're not going to be able to score enough points to keep up with the good Lions offense. Lions win this 28-17. Moving on, we have the Falcons visiting the Ravens. So the Ravens really need to win this game if they want to have a chance to win the AFC North, because they're no longer sitting atop the division after their loss to the Browns last week. But they're still in a good spot in terms of the wild card, and they could actually secure their playoff spot this week. But the Ravens, they really need Lamar Jackson to lead their offense, because they need that difference maker at quarterback, because there's not many playmakers on the outside. And it does not seem like Lamar Jackson's going to play. So it will be Tyler Huntley at quarterback for the Ravens against the Falcons. But I think he's going to do just enough to help the Ravens get the win, as the Ravens win this game in a close one, winning 20-17. Up next, we have the 49ers hosting the Commanders. The Commanders need to win this game after taking a loss to the Giants last week, and they've struggled offensively lately, and that is not a good thing, especially when you face the best defense in the league in the 49ers defense. And I have the 49ers winning this game pretty easily by a score of 26-10. Up next, we have the Eagles visiting the Cowboys. So the Eagles could clinch the NFC East and the number 1 seed in the NFC with a win. The Eagles will likely be without starting quarterback Jalen Hurts due to a shoulder sprain. So that means Gardner Minshew will start for the Eagles at quarterback. Now the Cowboys defense has struggled the past few games, but with no Jalen Hurts, that completely changes things for the Eagles offense. There's no threat of the quarterback run, and Gardner Minshew is not the passer Jalen Hurts is. So I think Jalen Hurts is that difference maker for the Eagles, and without him, the Eagles will not be able to get past the Cowboys, as the Cowboys win this game, winning by a score of 27-23. In the final game on Christmas Eve or Saturday, we have the Steelers hosting the Raiders. So the Steelers got the win last week over the Panthers without starting quarterback Kenny Pickett, but he returns this week. Both teams have an outside chance at the playoffs, but they both need to win, and they can't afford to drop another game. I could see this game going either way. I don't think it's going to be that good, but I'll take the Steelers 25-22. Moving to Sunday's games, the game's on Christmas, by the way. Merry Christmas to all of you watching, and if you don't celebrate Christmas, hope you have a happy holiday season for whatever holiday you do celebrate. But starting off with the first game on Christmas, that is the Dolphins hosting the Packers. The Packers got the win over the Rams on Monday Night Football to keep their slim playoff hopes alive. But they will get tested this week against a good Dolphins team. And the Dolphins, they've lost 3 straight, but they were pretty good last week in their loss to the Bills. Now, both teams need to win this game. I think this is going to be a higher scoring game. And in a shootout, I think the better offense has the advantage, so I'll take the Dolphins getting the win over the Packers, winning by a score of 31-26. Up next, we have the Broncos visiting the Rams. So this game was supposed to be a really good game heading into the season, but this has turned into probably one of the worst games all season. The Broncos have an awful offense with or without Russell Wilson, as he's going to return this week after missing last week's game with a concussion. Now, the Rams, they haven't been good, but they should just be barely able to edge past the Broncos in a low-scoring, extremely boring game. Rams win 13-10. And last game on Christmas, we have the Cardinals hosting the Buccaneers. So this is a must-win game for the Buccaneers. They have been really disappointing this season, and they need a win. They're only 1 game above the Panthers in the NFC South. The Cardinals have also been disappointing this season. They're going to be starting Trace McSorley at quarterback, as Colt McCoy has been ruled out with a concussion. Tom Brady is 6-1 when their opposing quarterback is making their first career NFL start, and his only loss was to Brock Purdy earlier this season. But the 49ers as a team did a lot to help Brock Purdy, and I don't think the Cardinals will be able to do enough as a team to help and support Trace McSorley, so the Buccaneers will win this game 24-7. And finally, Monday Night Football, we have the Colts hosting the Chargers. So the Chargers, they've been better lately, especially defensively. The run defense still isn't great, but they do catch a big break with Jonathan Taylor being placed on IR, ending his season for the Colts. So they won't face one of the best running backs in the NFL. And the Chargers, they continue their playoff push. They actually can clinch a playoff spot this week, but they need to win this game. They also need a few other things to happen, but I think they get the win on Monday Night Football, winning 24-14. And usually we would have a live watch party for Sunday Night and Monday Night Football. Not this week because of the holiday. But thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys have a Merry Christmas, happy, healthy holiday season. And thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, turn on notifications. Check out the community tab of my channel where you guys can vote on who you think will win some of this week's big games. But thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, turn on notifications. I do my best to post as often as possible, and I will see you in the next video.